Hi, I've got a quick and easy card for you today that you're going to be able to make faster than you can brew up your favorite cup of Java. Yep, this card is going to be fun and easy. You're going to be able to recreate it very easily. My name is Julia. I'm with Julia Sue Stamping, where I am passionate about stamping, coloring, paper crafting, making cards, and sharing the fun of doing all of that with you. I live in Northeast Ohio and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am so glad that you're here to hang out with me for a little bit today. Thank you for coming. Whether this is your first time to the channel or you've been at the channel multiple times, thank you. I couldn't do this without you, and it is so fun to be with you for a little bit. I am going to go ahead and just talk to you for a second that I have all the details for the card listed down below in the description, as well as my online store and my blog, where there are a lot more details. So if you want to recreate this easily, measurements and everything are down there on the blog. And if you would like to make any purchases to help support my small business, thank you. I would appreciate your support. If you already have a demonstrator that you use, that's fine. I'm simply glad that you're here. Let's get started. We're going to bring out the stamp set first using the Latte Love stamp set today. It has coordinating dies. I always mark my stamp sets with a D when they have dies, so I remember that they have dies. And the die we're using for this card today is this one. It works for this cup right here. And that's what we're going to be cutting out and stamping. We're also going to be using this great hello there sentiment, as well as filling up our cup with a little bit of coffee. So we'll also be stamping the cup inside the card so that it gives it a little bit more of an impact. Are you ready to get started? I know I am. Let's go ahead and bring in the items that we're using. The card base is 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So we'll take our bone folder and make that score line nice and tight. It's going to be a card that's in a portrait position, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put 3 pieces of the designer series paper that coordinates with this, and it is the Little Latte designer series paper. So I cut 3 pieces, 1 1/4 inches by 5 1/4, and we're going to put them on just like this. There's going to be a little space between them. I like to use the Stampin' Seal Plus. That's my favorite type of adhesive. If you like using the liquid adhesive, that's great. That would work just as well. So I tend to start with these sides, and then I do the middle last so that I have a better idea of them being straight and even between. So you can use any of the sides of the designer series paper that you want. And if you wanted to do this with a different card, you could easily use it with a different designer series paper. This card is so easy. This type of style, the template here, is just an easy card to do. And now that piece. So I'm easily able to get this center one in and to have it be pretty even between the 2 pieces. There we go. All right, so the next thing is a piece of basic white that is 2 inches by 4. And then I've got a piece of the pecan that is 2 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So it's going to frame right here, and then we'll put that right on top. There we go, getting that nice and even on there. And then the last piece of the basic white that goes on top of this pecan pie. there. Okay, I have the sentiment piece and I have the sentiment here all ready to go. Since this is a photopolymer stamp set, I'm going to want to have a little bit of cushion underneath it because it doesn't have the give that a rubber stamp has. Using the early espresso stamp ink, I'm going to go ahead and ink up the stamp, stamping the sentiment on this piece of basic white that has been cut to be 1 1/8 inch by 2 5/8 inches. I'm thinking that's a little crooked, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can make it a little bit more straight. Good thing the cardstock has two sides. Yeah, I like that better. And then I'm going to adhere it to this piece of the early espresso. The sentiment piece actually is 1 inch by 2 1/2 inches. And then I've got this early espresso, it's 1 1/8 by 2 5/8. So I think I'll go ahead and adhere those together. I'm going to close up this ink because we're done with that. And want something a little harder to put my adhesive on. There, that will work very well. And now I'm going to put it onto the early espresso and adhere that as well. Right there across the top. Okay, now I've already cut out of some scrap piece of cardstock this nice little cup. And because you can see right where you're stamping, I'm going to be able to use the cup and stamp right onto that. I'm using the Lost Lagoon ink and inking up the stamp. I'm going to put it right down on because I can see through it right where I want it to be. See how easily that works? And now, while I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside of this card. So I'm grabbing a piece of grid paper so I can stamp the inside. I'm going to stamp it off once, then inside, got a little cup. All right. Closing that up. And now let's put some coffee inside of there. I've got a little swirl of coffee and the Pecan Pie ink. I'm going to ink it up. Just tap, 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 and then place it right inside of the coffee cup. Lifting this up with a couple of dimensionals, I am going to just take a strip from the last of them that I have of this piece, placing this onto the card. I'll put it right around here. And now I'm taking my paper snips and a little bit of the coordinating ribbon, and I'm going to just cut a couple pieces off of the ribbon. Then I'm going to go ahead and tie it. I'm going to pull it off. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tie it into a bow. and get it a little tighter and looser the way that I want. And then grab a glue dot. Roll it between my fingers a bit to get it on the back of the bow. And then I'm going to put that little bow right there underneath my sentiment. Cut off a little of the extra. And there it is. I'm going to put some embellishments on still with some Naturals sequined, Naturals adhesive back sequins. And I am going to use the Take Your Pick tool as well. So I think I'm going to use these like copper colored ones. I think they'll look so pretty with this different designer series papers that we have here. There we go. That's all there is to that. And here's the card, all finished. I told you, how easy was that? It is so fun, so quick, and you can make lots of these. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. I enjoyed hanging out with you. Thank you again for being here. Please give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a chance to get inky today. Bye.